If you try and understand the basics and if you know thoroughly, you can easily take up any what sort of challenge that comes. Now, forensic science. Now tell me, what is the difference between this forensic science and all other sciences? Or let me put it this way. Forensic science, is it a pure science? Is this a pure science as chemical science, biological science? Right? Yes. There must be two answers, whether it is yes or no. I'll clear it out here itself, right away. Is this a pure science? Yes, no, yes, no. Whatever you are understanding so far till now is some of you are saying yes and some of you are no. But take this, it is not a pure science from today. It is not a pure science, forensic science. Then what it is? What it is? What is this science is all about? See, I am going to a crime scene. You are all going to a crime scene. What all you find in a crime scene? Body, evidences. Wonderful, evidences, right? So whatever may be the evidences, you may not be knowing what evidence you are encountering with. Whatever it may be. It may be a glass piece, it may be a blood spot, or it may be some chemical powder or whatever. So if you find a glass piece, at the crime scene, what science you are going to apply? To identify glass piece. So in all probability, in an hit and run case, in an accident case, you may find glass pieces at the crime scene. And you have to fix this glass with the vehicle. The vehicle is recovered at some other place. That is a big challenge for you. How will you fix it? You are applying physical science. Right? You are applying physical science. If it is a blood, biological science. If it is a powder, chemical, you are applying chemical science. That means you are applying all these sciences. The thing is, the focus is, the evidence must be analyzed to its optimum. You have to analyze this evidence to the maximum. So in that case, it is an application of all these sciences. Forensic science is nothing but an application of all these sciences. Then what is this forensic? The word forensic, right? The word forensic is derived from forensis, meaning an open forum like this. The science is accepted in an open forum like this. The best open forum is court. Court is the best open forum. So there you are testified, whatever you have tested scientifically, that science shall be accepted in the court. So that is the reason why in olden days, the senators and others, they are debated and had judicial proceedings in an open forum. That is forensic, the word. Now there are important investigations are two in forensic. One is forensic science and one is forensic medicine. You might have heard by this time, right? Forensic science, I told you, it is application of all these sciences. Application of science to law. Forensic, open forum for law. Then forensic medicine, again the application of medical knowledge. Right? It is an application of medical knowledge to support the administration of justice. So that means effective use of these two fields. Effective use of these two fields is a key for the better investigation. Now the importance of forensic investigation is very, very important in criminal trial, because one may go behind the bars or he may come out of the jail. It all depends upon your findings and investigation. An innocent may go behind the bars and the accused may be scot free. That means your investigations must be very accurate. And loss of career in sports and athlete, loss of job if drug is proven, and civil trials, all other money matter crimes. All these civil trials. That means your investigation must be accurate. You must have all the tools. You must be having all the tools to face whatever the challenge that is coming to you. Now, forensic science has made a great strides over the last 50 years. We have a lot of tools, exciting tools to solve all our crimes. This forensic science, last 50 years, majority of the tools, wonderful tools have come up so that the investigation must be done in a better way. So, to give you some of the examples, from small magnifying lens of Sherlock Holmes, you might have seen the pictures, right? Then now today we have sensitive scanning electron microscope, where you can go with 1,000 times maximize that object. Then analgesics to the designer drugs. What are analgesics? Yeah. Analgesic drug, common drugs to the designer drugs so that it can specifically target to that particular organ. Now blood group typing. People have started identifying the individual with the help of blood group typing. Now you have DNA, very specific. So that yes, he is the one who is involved, and other than this fellow nobody is existing in this entire world. To that extent you need to prove his guilt. Then only he can be punished, right? Then calculators to the computers. Drug toxicity to toxicogenetics. Firecracker to the high explosives. Fingerprint powder. Earlier people are using fingerprint powder to develop the fingerprint. Now we have a laser beam. Biometric access, right? Interrogation, like police interrogation to the brain fingerprinting. All the information that is stored in your brain can be retrieved. Muzzle loading manual gun to the AK-47, automatic. Then photography, black and white. You have not seen, I believe, the negatives development of all the negative, these kind of things. Olden days, these people, they were doing for the black and white photography. Now we have a digital photography. Recorded voice to the forensic acoustics and signatures to the digital cryptography. Earlier, our all reports, forensic reports are going as a hard copy with signed signatures. Nowadays, they are going digitally signed reports. Because the moment when I sign here, very next minute he can download. The investigating officer, he can download the document. And at the same time, we are trying to give it to the court as well, directly. It has to go one copy to the court directly so that immediately it can reach to the court as well. Now there are agencies, forensic laboratories. These are the user agencies of forensic laboratories: Criminal Investigation Department, CID, Excise Department, Health and other government departments, Forest Department, private organizations, bank, railways, courts, CBI, and Police Department. All these are, we receive the cases from all these agencies. Now when it comes to the forensic, it is expanding like anything. All these disciplines, you are applying science, whatever may be the science, the evidence has to be analyzed to its optimum. That is the focus, right? Accounting, acoustics, anthropology, ballistics, biology, chemical science, digital, document, engineering, entomology, odontology, pathology, psychiatry, photography, physical science, toxicology, and whatnot. Now, what is the basic thing what you need to do when it comes to the evidence? What is the job of forensic scientists is to guide the investigating officers to identify appropriate evidence at the crime scene. You must spend time and see what are the possible evidences you are encountering. And proper collection and preservation, that is also equally important. Proper collection and preservation is very, very important. If you are not collecting it properly, even if you have whatever may be the equipment, it's of no use. Then preliminary analysis at the crime scene itself. If something has to be done for the test kits, you can test it there itself. And for the detailed analysis, these evidence materials are coming to the lab for latest analytical technologies to handle. Then interpretation of forensic results. Once you subject to the equipments, it will give you the data. Then interpretation of data, that is also very, very important. I'll give you some of the data in the end. I want you to interpret. Let us see how you are going to interpret the data. That is also equally important. And testifying the forensic evidence. Once you did your job and signed the report, you have to go to the court, right, for the evidence. And the fifth one is very, very important thing. Devise and execute suitable need-based training program. That is very, very important, because forensic people are not only, they are the only people who are solving the crimes. Everybody is involved, right from the investigating officer and medical officer, forensic, judiciary, everybody is involved. So the training has to be there especially for the proper collection and preservation of the evidences. Now from Bangalore State FSL, we are operating these many divisions. We'll see exactly in one each slide what exactly is going on, and then what are the challenges. What are the challenges that are there? If you consider all these 13 divisions, again these sciences will come into picture, like biological science, physical science, chemical sciences. They are divided into these many. Then digital nowadays, right? Biology and DNA comes under biological science. Then chemistry, narcotics, toxicology come under chemical. Then physics, firearms, they are coming under physical sciences. Then question document, photography, and then digital forensics. These 13 divisions we are operating from our lab here at Bangalore. We'll quickly see one by one what exactly that particular division is doing, because that you must have the idea. What is exactly the nature of work which is going on? So first thing is biology. What do you expect in biology? When you are going at the crime scene and you find some red stains on the floor, red stains. The very first question is whether this red stain is blood or not. Right? The second thing is, if it is a blood, whether it belongs to a human or animal. If it is human, what is the blood group? These three questions are answered in biology section. These three, up to the blood grouping. Right? Then, if at all you want to establish and fix it to one particular individual, yes, this blood sample belongs to this person, then what are DNA? DNA will tell us the specificity, right? He is the one, yes, this can be fixed to this particular individual. Is it possible to fix the individual with the help of blood grouping? Blood grouping? No. Is it useful? Yes. Both the things are there here. It is useful. Whatever may be the technology or the thing, if it is useful, we are going to use it. If it is not useful, then why we have to use it? See, blood grouping, you cannot fix the individual, right? Then how is it going to be useful? How it will help? If it is not useful, why we are doing it? See, blood group, it will identify. Blood group cannot identify actually. How can you? See, I'll give you an example. You are entering in a crime scene. Okay? You are entering in a crime scene, a dead body is lying there. A dead body. Somewhere 10 meters away from the dead body, one drop of blood is on the floor. What do you do? Yeah, you collect the sample of the dead body and the blood at the other end. Those two samples you take it to your lab. You are doing blood group testing. The result goes like this. The dead body sample is O positive and this sample is B positive. What will you conclude? Yeah, these two belong to two different individuals. Wonderful. Now these police people, they have suspect over 10 different individuals. They get the blood samples of all 10 and give it to you. You are doing blood group testing. The results goes like this. 4 of them are O positive, 4 of them are B positive, one is AB positive, one is A positive. Now tell me, what will be your conclusion? 4 of them are O positive, 4 of them are B positive, one is AB positive, one is A positive. Yes? What conclusion you can draw out of this? Huh? Yeah, AB and A you can rule out. But the very question is which sample? B positive. B positive is the question one. Right? Out of 10 people, there are 4 B positives. Can you pinpoint and say who is the one? No. Then, is it helpful that blood group, doing blood group, is it helpful? Yes. See, B positive you cannot fix an individual, and at the same time you are telling me that it is helpful. Exactly, wonderful. It narrowed down the process, right? You need not have to subject all 10 to the DNA. Because blood grouping, within a minute you can do it. But DNA is a very costly affair and it takes time. So that means out of 50, if the blood group is matching for 10, only you can subject these 10 to the, it narrowed down the process. One thing you must understand, with the help of blood grouping, we can exclude the individual 100%. Right? If the blood group is not matching, you can exclude him 100%. But if the blood group matches, you cannot include. You cannot include when the blood group is matching. But you can exclude. That is wonderful. Right? Now for the DNA, you know, all cells of the same organism have the same identical DNA. You have the identical DNA in all your cells. Hairs, teeth, organs or whatever, blood. The same DNA for one individual. Individual to individual it differs. Then 2 samples are taken, one from the suspect, other from the crime scene, and you are matching. DNA of both the samples is extracted and studied. If they are compared, then yes, you are telling the comparison. And if it is not matching, yes, it is not matching. That means you must have a sample for comparison. If there is no sample for comparison, you cannot identify. Supposing if it is a bone sample, I will give it to you. You do the DNA testing and tell me whose bone is it. Is it possible to tell? One sample? Yeah, hair sample. I can give you the hair sample. Okay. And you are doing the DNA. It will give you a DNA fingerprint, no doubt. But how will you say that yes, this belongs to this person? You must have a sample for comparison. Without the comparison sample, single sample DNA profile is absolutely useless. Majority of the forensic findings and reports are through comparison. You are comparing the one with the other. Comparing the glass piece which is found at the crime scene with the vehicle glass piece. Right? Majority of the things are comparison. You are comparing the one with the other. Now, these two are the DNA. Now coming to the chemistry. Chemistry. All these explosives, dowry prohibition, evidences, food adulteration, petrol, diesel, kerosene, all these things will be tested here. The name itself suggests chemistry, chemical examination, all the chemical examination. Majority of the times the answer lies in the question itself. You must see the question carefully so that you can easily find the answers. Chemistry. The narcotics. Again, it is a chemical only. But those drugs which are coming under NDPS Act, that are covered in narcotics. Narcotics section exclusively does this. The drugs which are covered under NDPS Act, they have been tested here. Because majority of the drugs nowadays are synthetic drugs, very difficult. There are a lot of challenges in narcotics. We will come back to it. Once you understand this, you will go to the challenges in the coming slide. Then toxicology. Right? What is your understanding of toxicology? Toxic means what? Poison. Wonderful. Toxic is poison. What is the poison then? You said toxic is a poison. I agree. What is a poison? What is the definition for poison then? Something which is harmful, not acceptable to the body. And what else? Supposing if I say water is a poison, how many of you would agree? And say water is a poison.
Excess quantity could be poisonous.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Excellent. Excess quantity may be poison. So that means all substances are poisons. All substances. There is none which is not a poison. Everything is a poison. The dose that decides whether it is a poison or a remedy. Supposing if you have a fever, what do you do normally? You go for a paracetamol directly. Why? Because paracetamol being an antipyretic drug, it lowers your body temperature and your body temperature comes to normal. Because it's antipyretic property. Supposing if you take 10 tablets at a time, the same remedy can act as a poison. Right? The snake venom. What is your understanding with the snake venom? Snake bite? Poison. Snake venom is a poison. But the beauty is, if you dilute to a gallons of water, that poison, it may be used as for many of the diseases. Lot of research is going on. It can cure many of the diseases, deadly diseases in fact. Lot of research is going on this snake venom. That means the dose that decides actually whether it is a poison or a remedy. Now all these postmortem samples are tested here in toxicology division. Now forensic physics, I told you earlier, right? Glass piece. What else? Suppose there is a crime scene at around 11 o'clock in the morning today, and some vehicle was involved in that, and that vehicle is here right away at your CMR University campus. How will you fix it? This vehicle was very much there at that crime spot. Is it possible? Is it possible to fix this vehicle with the crime scene? Yes, very good. Soil sample, wonderful. Soil sample. These are the big challenges actually. How will you do? The soil which is adhered to the tire and the soil which is found at the crime scene. You can compare. Again comparison. Again you are comparing the one with the other. The soil, glass and other tool marks, all these things are tested physically in physics department. The ballistics, firearms, the name itself is firearms, anything which is related to firearm. A bullet is recovered from the dead body. A bullet which is recovered from the dead body, and you have been given 10 weapons. There are 10 weapons. One might be suspected in that. How will you establish that it is used to fire? Which particular weapon is involved in this firing? Caliber. Same caliber can be fired from some other weapon also. Narrow down is fine, but supposing there are 10 weapons which can be fired from the same caliber. Gunpowder. Gunpowder is there. From all the weapons, the gunpowder is very much included there. Part of the pistol.
When the bullet shoots, we can identify from that also. It was used.
MM is also common. The same MM can be. Now this is a challenge actually, right? You have 10 weapons. You have one bullet, and you have to establish that which particular weapon is used to fire this bullet. Serial number. No, the same serial number bullet can be fired from other weapon also. Each pistol might have a number. Yes, no doubt. Each pistol has a number. But even then, other bullet can also be fired from that pistol.
Sir, the count of bullets given to each individual.
Which count? Bullet.
The person is given at the pistol, they are given a certain amount of bullets. So, based on that.
That count may not be possible. See, under these situations, there are many weapons there which are found at this thing and which specificity.
Sir, can we see the like how force the bullet went? Like because each weapon will have different.
Yeah, the force can be how you can calculate. It's very difficult to calculate the force once it is. You have to see how much it is from the distance it is fired from, all these things, and the same bullet can be fired with the same force, similar force. See, when the bullet it is coming out from a firearm, it has got definite striation marks on it, specific markings on the bullet. On the bullet, specific markings will be there when the bullet comes out from the weapon. Now tell me, how can you fix the weapon? What you need to do, yeah. How will you see? I have told you now what it is, right? Bullet, there are markings. I have given you 10 weapons. Practically, how will you do? Exactly. What you have to do is you have to test fire from all 10 weapons. Take the 10 bullets and the question bullet. Now you match the strategy in marks. These are absolutely exactly coinciding with each other. Then you can say, yes, this is the particular weapon which is used to fire this particular bullet. And many of the big challenges are also there in firearms. We'll come back to it. Forensic photography. All crime scenes, these people will go and attend the crime scenes. Because when it comes to the court, it may be too late. So we have to have all the pictures, and once we see the picture 2 years ago, that means forensically they are taking the complete view of the entire scene. Now again, forensic documents. Anything which is related to handwriting and signatures. Yeah. The signature. Again, a comparison. You are comparing the one with the standard signature. Right? Handwriting also. Again, comparison. Related to handwriting and signature, these forensic documents people will come into the picture. Now, psychology. In forensic psychology, there are 3 aspects, right? One is polygraph, brain mapping, and narcoanalysis. These 3 are covered. But currently, we are not in narcoanalysis. We have been doing polygraph and brain fingerprinting. What is it, polygraph? What is your understanding of polygraph? Lie detection. Yes, lie detection. So body parameters. They are checking the body parameters whether there are other any variations and there or not. And what is this brain fingerprinting, brain mapping? Yeah, they are fixing your electrodes, all 32, and they are analyzing your brain signals. Everything is captured by this brain. Supposing if I click a photograph here, this photograph, and it is shown me after some time, and my brain is giving that signal, that peak. If it shows to some other person who has not attended here, it may not see you cannot see the signal. That means everything which is stored in the brain, and it can be retrieved at any point of time. Very nice. Then in the narcoanalysis, you might be knowing it, right? It is conducted in the hospitals actually. Anesthetic drug is induced. People has to take him to a trance state, So that semi-conscious state. Yeah, which is that anesthetic? Sodium pentothal. Sodium pentothal is an anesthetic drug which is injected, and he is in a trance state. That means he is more talkative in the sense. It is not that he is telling all the truth. He will be more talkative. And he tells all the things. Alcohol-induced person also more talkative. Right? He is telling all the truth. Like that. Now the digital forensics. Digital forensics. Earlier we were having only one section as a digital forensic. Now the cases are huge. Cases are coming in lot of this thing, and there are many more challenges. Big challenges are there in these two areas actually, digital and DNA. When it comes to digital forensics, we are divided into three different areas. So one is related to hard disk and laptops, like computer related things. We have made it as computer forensics. And then, which is related to mobile. The cases which are related to mobile, we used mobile forensic. And then the audio video. Audio and video related speaker identification, we have done it as audio video forensics. So everything is same. Maybe the work nature is the same. Like what you need to do is, you have been given either laptop or hard disk or a mobile. Your job is to retrieve the data. There are tools. Even if you have deleted whatever in the mobile, it can be retrieved. There are tools. So extraction basically. Let's do the extraction, and from this computer as well as from mobile and the DVRs, audio, video, and the speaker identification. Here also again the comparison. You are comparing the voice with the standard voice of the speaker. If there is only one voice, you cannot identify. You must have the sample for comparison. Anything which is related to audio, video, nowadays there are huge, big challenges. We'll come back to it. What are the challenges? Then fingerprint analysis. This is not in FSL, forensic lab, but it has a separate unit like fingerprint bureau, you might have heard. And this is also one of the important aspects, so I kept this slide as well. Fingerprints, these prints are very, very important, right? In the crime scene, first these people will go and see if there are prints are available or not. These prints are available, there are yes chances that getting identified through these prints. And then the searching of evidences by the forensic experts. Now with this, all 13 and 14 divisions, you know what exactly is going on in each particular division, right? Each particular division, what it is doing. And now we see they deal with what sort of evidences, right? Everything starts, all crimes, they start with an evidence, physical evidence. And physical evidence can be anything. All objects that can establish a crime has been committed or can provide a link between a crime and its victim or a crime and its perpetrator. It has to establish a link between the crime and the perpetrator. It all starts with physical evidence. And the importance of physical evidence is, it will tell us whether the crime has been committed or not. It is linking the suspect with the crime, identity of the persons involved in the crime, and this is the most important again, exonerate the innocent. This is also equally important. The one who has not committed any crime, he should not be punished, right? More reliable than the eyewitness. Because eyewitness may turn hostile when it comes to the court because of various reasons. But the scientific evidence, scientific proof will always remain the same. That is the reason why it is having more reliable, and it has a recognition in courts of law as well. Because science is a science. You are proving his guilt through science. That is the reason why it is upheld in the court. When it starts with the evidences, the search for trace evidence, it must start from crime scene and extend beyond to autopsy room. There are only two areas where you can get the evidences. One is in a crime scene and the one is at the autopsy. Once the autopsy is done and the body is cremated, everything is gone. You cannot find any evidence. Till that time, yes, you have. Because I still remember in one of the triple murder case, father, mother and daughter. There are absolutely no evidences in the crime scene. We could not find. But in the daughter's hand, there are few hairs. When it is opened in the autopsy room, there are few hairs in that. So that is a clinching evidence actually. There are three suspects. And it was matching with one of the three. And we could find some of the hairs in the bed sheet and those hairs are matching with the other two. All the three are fixed actually. So that means your job is to search for the trace evidence and till the autopsy you have to. Like efforts of obtaining evidences may prove difficult or once the body is cremated there is absolutely no chance to get any evidence. And then lengthy time delay in obtaining many of the evidences will diminish or destroy their forensic value. You need to act very quickly. You have to act very quickly because biological evidences, there are every chances that these may go degraded or you may not get any important evidence in handling the evidences. That means if you are not recognizing the evidence at the crime scene, first of all you have to go to the crime scene and pick up the evidence, see if there are evidences or not, recognize it, then collect it and preserve it. If the very evidence, if you go wrong in collecting or if you are not able to identify it at the crime scene, no matter what sort of high-tech equipments we have in our lab, they are absolutely useless. What we can do with the high-tech equipments if the very evidence you are not able to collect it? If you are very evidence you are not able to identify it. That is the reason why it has to be recognized initially, then collected it properly and preserved. Wherever the preservation is needed, you have to preserve it to the best. So forensic experts alone do not solve the crimes. This I had told you earlier also, right? Then who are all involved in that? The investigating officer. Right from the investigating officer, it starts from the investigating officer, then the body is sending it to the postmortem, forensic medicine expert, forensic pathologist, going to the pathology division as well, forensic scientist, forensic fingerprint expert, police photographer and dog squad. All these stakeholders should come together to solve the crime. Now what are the big challenges ahead of us? With this, we come to the challenges now. What are the important challenges what we encounter normally? So the first one is snake poison. Toxicology, right? When it comes to a poison, you think of toxicology. Which division? Toxicology. If some poison is involved, these toxicology people will pinpoint and say, yes, this is the poison which is involved, which is found in the dead body. But if it is a snake poison, it is very difficult even today to establish whether it is from the snake venom or not, to establish the identity. Then what they do is, they rule out all other poisons. They rule out all other poisons and the report goes like this, no other poisons have found. Then you have to see. Through what? Through the fang mark. Through the fang mark, the medical officer has to decide. When there is no other poisons are there, then yes, it is a due to snake bite. The medical officer will give his final opinion with that fang mark if it is really there. Detection of ethyl alcohol. It's really big challenge even today. How? In all traffic accidents or whatever, or you are driving in the late hours, the traffic people, they used to have this breath analyzers, right? Holding. Whether someone has drunken or not, drunk and drive cases, all these things. Huh? He is having some breath analyzer. And you have to, yeah. These readings will come in the breath and then they will, yes, this person has drunk. In that case, this ethyl alcohol has to be identified with the blood sample. Exact blood alcohol, what is the amount of alcohol content? You have to establish the amount. Normally what happens is, if somebody drunk and drive and then met with an accident, and he will not go and give his blood sample directly. He will go next day and surrender and then give the blood sample. What happens in that case? Why is it so? Yeah, blood sample, blood alcohol is coming down every hour. Around 18 to 20 mg of ethyl alcohol is coming down every hour. And after 8 to 10 hours, it will be zero. You cannot find any alcohol if he surrenders the next day. That is the reason immediately they won't surrender. In that case, yes, there is a big challenge ahead of you to establish. In that case also, is it possible to identify the alcohol content at the time of the incident? Now the other day I was doing a case actually. The case, it goes like this, like in a highway HSR layout, a car was moving. It was somewhere around 8 to 9 o'clock in the night. The car was moving, a truck is coming behind, and at one point of time, the truck hit the car at the back. The car got damaged, no casualties. The car driver came out and see the truck driver. A traffic police in a uniform, he is driving the truck. Traffic police, he was driving the truck. A lot of people were gathered. And a person sitting, one more person next to him in the truck. It was somewhere around 9 o'clock in the night. And then what you have to do that time? They have collected with a breath analyzer. They checked the breath alcohol of the traffic police, and it was showing somewhere around 100 milligrams per 100 ml. And the person who is sitting next to him, the actual truck driver, it was something around 95. His breath alcohol is coming somewhere 95. It was somewhere around 9 o'clock. Now these two people have taken to the hospital, nearest hospital, St. John's, and the blood sample was drawn at 2 o'clock, midnight, same time. And this blood sample are coming to the lab. Now I was testing it. After testing, my results are like this. The traffic police blood sample, there is no alcohol. But the other sample, the driver, it was somewhere 35 milligrams per 100 ml. How that is possible? It was a big challenge. How that is possible? A person's breath alcohol is coming 100, the traffic police, it is giving you 0. And the person's breath alcohol, which is 95, it is giving you 35. And breath alcohol is done at the same time, 9 o'clock in the night. And the blood is also drawn from the two people at the same time, 2 o'clock in the midnight. That was the history. Now tell me how that is possible.
Right. Based on the regularity of consumption of alcohol,
Based on the regularity of consumption.
the body gets more used to the capacity increases, so the body is able to
But-
Quantity you consume.
Yeah, quantity you consume, that is fine. But it is established scientific thing that the blood alcohol which is coming down 18 milligrams every hour, 18 to 20 milligrams, any individual for that matter, scientifically, it is coming down. Defective blood analyzer. Let me take it that it is a correct breath analyzer only. Let me put it in this way. Because ultimately what we people are getting, the last question from the defense is, you are belong to the police department, for this you are helping for the police, so that is the reason you are giving it as 0. You are helping the police in that case. Normally we used to get these questions in the end. But what I used to say is, yes, whatever I have tested here, I have written it back to the court. If court permits, it can be tested anywhere in any labs. I can take that claim because all other DNA, whatever I do, I just return it back to the court. And it can be tested anywhere. Because all labs are using the same markers and kits to establish the identity. Now, in this case, coming to this case, yes. What will be you are in that, in case I was about to go to the evidence, during that time, half an hour journey, it got stuck in my mind, so that yes, this might be. But how I am going to convince the jury, judge, how I am going to convince? Because in case if you ask, how I am going to? Scientifically, I cannot say that the breath analyzers are wrong ones if they are not, they did the correct job. All these things I cannot take the plea. Everything is perfect. But scientifically, how that can be justified? Yes? How is it possible?
Did you the timings when they got drunk were
Exactly, you are very near to that. You are absolutely very near to that. But in spite of whatever may be the timings, the blood alcohol is coming down 18 to 20 milligrams per hour. It has to come down. You are very near to that. Timings. Yeah, that is true, I agree. It remains for 8 to 12 hours, it is there, it will be there. Because see, 18 milligrams, if it coming down every hour means it will come to 0 after 8 to 10, 12 hours. Here, the breath analyzer readings are taken at the same time, blood is drawn at the same time.
Sir, what if during that time, what if the other person has consumed more, like
Whatever he has consumed.
when he was read as 100%,
Huh.
that time that person have stopped, the traffic police person have stopped drinking.
Huh.
But this person would have consumed extra or something,
Exactly.
which came.
Exactly. That is what it has happened. That is what it has happened. But how will you prove it? With the scientific readings, with these findings. You are absolutely right. Because traffic police has drunk maybe in the evening. This truck driver he might have taken while taking his dinner. Exactly, that is what it has happened. But how will you prove it? See, I'll tell you, if someone consumes alcohol, either 95 or 100, it will come twice. Right? He goes on drinking alcohol. It goes to 90, 95, 100, 120, 130, 180, 200. Then again coming down. While going up, it comes 95. While coming down also, it comes 95. Got it? So, this traffic police, which is 100, it was coming down. It was noted at 100. But this 95, it was that reading while it is going up. Because of what you said, right? This traffic police has taken earlier and then this person. Any concentration, blood alcohol, it comes twice while going up and coming down. So this was the justification I gave it to the magistrate on that day. He asked actually, how that is possible. So this is scientifically acceptable justification for this scenario. It won't tell you no instrument will tell you the 95 whether it is going up or down. Even today. That is really big challenge. It won't tell you what is the concentration which is going up or coming down. No. And one more thing is, after 12 hours, the blood alcohol is coming zero. You have to establish. Yes, he has taken some alcohol at the time of incident. That is possible. So what? A new technology. One of the enzymes which is found in the urine, even after 3 days, ethyl glucuronide. That enzyme which is found in the urine, even after 3 days, if it is there, yes, if you can back calculate and see, and that can be proved with the newer technologies. Then extraction of DNA from bones and teeth. Extraction of DNA from formalin preserved tissues. The bones and teeth are very tough to handle actually. There is a set of procedure. There are high-tech equipments, advanced equipments, but still there are challenges. If there are 5 different bones and a set of procedure, one set of procedure and the same machine, subject all 5 bones, you may not get the DNA profile in all 5. You may get in 1 or 2, other 3 you may not. If somebody wanted to speak, I can give the mic here. Okay. Now, the formalin. See, why I am talking formalin, I will give you a picture because see, the DNA profile, I can show you some of the DNA profiles which is there in formalin or bones. That time it will be very easy for you to understand. Now, another challenges, as I told you, in narcotics, there are a lot of challenges in narcotics. Detection of narcotic drugs in hair samples, a real big challenge. Then identification of structural isolation of new designer drugs. Nowadays, there are plenty of new drugs are coming. Narcotics. Every day there is a new drug is coming out and it is really big challenge to identify. And then this is another thing to identify, impurities. You are not looking for the main compound. You are looking for the possible impurities if it is there. Then you can link from where it is coming from, in which particular country it has come from. Because those small impurities which are there means their process is having these impurities. Some country may process in some other way so that the impurities are different. You are not targeting the main compound, but rather you are targeting the impurities. That is another way of handling the things. Then pharmacological, toxicological studies of new synthetic and designer drugs and development of spot detection test also. You have to do it very quickly and the spot itself. Those kind of things are really a big challenge. They are coming up. Now challenges in cell phone. As you all know that digital forensics, like mobiles and other things, their crimes are like huge in number. In that case, the challenges are also equally more. Now the passcode and pattern lock protected. If the mobile is password or password pattern lock protected, you cannot retrieve the data. Big challenge. Without that, it is not possible. It has to be unlocked. Only then the data is retrieved. Now what to do with this? Yeah, the pattern lock or whatever, it has to open. Like once the mobile is opened, then you can take the data. But if it is locked, and if you have the mobile, you cannot extract the data. Because in all crimes, if there is no owner and you find the mobile, it is very difficult. If there is an owner, you can, yes, somehow you can get the password or pattern, whatever. But in a crime scene, a simple mobile is found and you don't have any owner to that. Normally it is password protected. In that case, yes, there is a big challenge to do it. But recently I have seen a demo. There is a tool. It has come up with a tool and within 15-20 minutes it can give you the password. Wonderful. All these things, 5 different procedures, and it is going on, and 20 or 25 minutes, it can give you the password straight away. What is the password? But there are limitations saying that only 4-digit password. If it is 6 digits, again it's a difficult. It is taking time. Now the new phones, like recent phones, the company itself, it is claiming that cannot be done. It's a big challenge actually. And password protected, custom apps also you can do the password protected. And developer option is controlled by admin, by some other mobile phone. And digital data retrieval, I told you, Android version 14 and above, it is very difficult. And Chinese cell phone, extraction of limitation of feature phones nowadays, it is very big challenge to get the data out. Now coming to all other things, mobiles related, there are a lot of challenges with the password detection and disappearing messages in WhatsApp to retrieve these, date and time of retrieval of secondary registered mobile number, retrieval of mobile number from the application, and then the data, IP masking and IP address retrieval, and with a SIM card, which mobile is used in this SIM, which particular, that is again really a big challenge, which mobile is used to use this particular SIM. Again big challenge. Then SD card, again a similar problem with the SD card as well. To specify the cell phone, for SIM card also, the specificity of the mobile phone, is really a big challenge. In audio video thing, again, there are quite a few challenges. Lack of context, absence of metadata, no known speakers or reference audio. So you must have a reference. If there is no reference, it is very difficult. It is not possible. Then what is the expected solution? Techniques to track the origin and authenticity of such audio recordings. And political manipulation. Right? If there are a lot of people are involved and you have to specify one person, it is again difficult in a mixture of population. Technique to authenticate. Nowadays you might have seen this deepfake audios. Deepfake audios is a real big challenge now. We need to find something out of it. Otherwise, it cannot be identified with the deepfake. Speaker identification in an audio file having multiple speakers speaking at a time. 3 or more people are speaking at the same time and you want to identify the one. Really big challenge. And image and video forensics, again there are a lot of challenges. Highly synthetic images, extreme image manipulations, low quality or degraded images, and deepfake images. These are all, again, audio video means you are having audio, video and image as well. Digital image. Extreme image degradation, non-uniform or blur, limited resolution, complex scenes. Again, video on the similar, highly synthetic videos and encrypted or watermark videos are very difficult. Deepfake videos and real-time videos with a limited context. And videos with limited quality. Again, it is really tough to handle. Again, like images, again videos may be extreme degradation and limited information, limited resolution and complex scenes. It is very difficult to do that. Can I have another 10 minutes? Or? Another 10 minutes. What are the challenges I just wanted to highlight upon when it comes to DNA? DNA, there are 2 methods to do it. One is VNTR or RFLP method. When it is started in the year 1983. That was the first, and this is the latest method, STR typing. And this method, the first method, it is very time consuming. Whatever may be the method, you must have the samples initially to deal with, and these must be biological samples because you are in DNA. You have to look for biological samples. And the first method I told you, RFLP, when Alex Jeffrey has told 1983, he has done it for the first time. This is time consuming. laborious, requires DNA of good quality, and more amount of DNA is required. It takes somewhere around 18 days to get the DNA fingerprint out of it, the sample. 18 days. Recently in a hospital, a newborn baby has given to its father. There was a wristband on the newborn baby, the baby of so and so, and it is mentioned as male baby. And the baby given to him is a female. The wristband is saying it's male, but the baby given to him is a female. Now the doubts are natural, whether it is his own baby or somebody else's baby is given to him. How will you establish in that case? DNA, wonderful. What all you need? The blood samples of baby, father and mother, and you are comparing. Wonderful. If you adopt this method and if it is taking 18 days, what will be the fate of the baby? It's a big challenge. You must act very quickly. Now the latest method, what everybody is doing is this STR method. The second method I told you, that is the latest and best method because all labs are using the same method and within 24 hours it is possible to establish the identity. And we did it within 24 hours and yes, it was his own baby. The nurse has went wrong in mentioning it as a female. It was their own baby. Now this process, STR method, is majorly they have 4 different steps. One thing is take out the DNA, then quantify it. Then there is a procedure called PCR, like you are amplifying the DNA, like my voice is amplifying through this mic, like DNA can be amplified through PCR. And then the DNA fingerprinting in the last step. There are 4 important major steps which are involved in STR typing. Once you complete this, you will get this pattern. They look like a barcode. That is the reason initially they called it as fingerprint. There are 16 different samples and giving all this information as a barcode. At the same time, it is giving you a profile. Whenever there are peaks, you call it as a profile. Whenever there is a peaks, you call it as a profile. And there are 16 different locations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And one will be the gender marker, it will tell you male or a female, X and Y. In DNA, you must remember that we all inherit 50% of DNA from our parents. 50% from my father and 50% from my mother. Each individual. That means to establish his identity, you must have his own sample or his parents' sample or his children's sample to compare. Again comparison. You are comparing the one with the other. Right? Here there are 2 peaks. You can see in all the things. One from father, one from mother. 50-50. Remember 50-50. And then you can have a lot of applications in forensics, like paternity, maternity dispute, rape and murder cases, baby exchange in hospitals, disasters, mass disasters, identification of old stuff, like lot of skulls we have recovered at some other place near Harvard, you might have read in the newspaper. Then authentication of plant seeds and forensic wildlife. Now recently we have come up with wildlife as well. Maybe very shortly in a month's time we are receiving cases of wildlife as well. Now this is a case of paternity just to give you for your understanding, because if I go for the challenge it will be really very tough for you because initially you may not be knowing anything. If you look at this very carefully, I guarantee that you all become experts. We'll see how you are going to interpret. See, this is a case wherein you have received 3 different samples: mother, disputed child and father. I am keeping child in between because it is very easy for you to compare, 50-50. Like this is one location, second, third, fourth, fifth, like that. All 16 different locations. What all you need to do is, you can see here, second, this is disputed child in the second. This 50% has come from mother, the other 50 is from father. Like here. Blue and red and green from here, the other green is here. Here yellow, because overlapping, the same yellow. Red is here, blue is here. But to give you an understanding, this is a standard, this is mother, this is baby and father with respect to one particular location marker. Now tell me whether this baby belongs to these parents or not. 50-50, yes, 50-50. Yes? Wonderful. See here, this 50 is here, this 50 is here. If it is a number, it is giving you all these numbers straight away. Because banding patterns you may go wrong in identifying because of the paint band sometimes. But if there are numbers, it is very easy for you. All these are numbers. Now child, mother, father. Now tell me whether this child belongs to these parents or not. Yes? How? What you need to check is one number from this side, the other number from this side. Because this, why I am giving it to you, because each of our DNA report is going along with the annexure. This is your annexure. So tomorrow you should not say that I don't know, I don't understand these numbers. If you understand here, you will never forget in your lifetime. I tell you, you will never forget in your lifetime. I guarantee it. See here, right? 15 comes from mother and 16 from father. Like that, all numbers you have to match. Right? All black ones from the mother and blue ones from the father. One from this side and one from that side. Now this is the second case wherein mother disputed child and father. See here, this yellow is not there in either of the two. Here it is a blue one, but here you can see red. And here one more blue is there, but no blue. Either side, here there is a green. No green at the other side. But if it is a number, it is very easy for you to. Now tell me whether this child belongs to these parents or not. So fast. No sir. No. 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 Now don't forget, now forget this father's profile. Don't look at this profile. What is the criteria for the baby from the mother? 50% has to come from the mother. Yes, now you are telling yes. A minute before you are telling no. There can't be two opinions, you are in DNA. What I asked, whether this child belongs to these parents or not, my question. You must understand the question very carefully. Right? Because why I am telling you is, in all probability, if the baby is exchanged in hospital, the very profile of the baby doesn't go with the mother. Then how can you compare with father? There is no point. That is the reason I am telling you, don't look at this profile. First see whether mother is, then you can go with. See many of the red ones, like 15, it is not there. You can see easily that, yes, she is the biological mother, but he is not the biological father of course. I told you now, in a leading hospital, two babies are exchanged. Given to wrong parents. Now what all you need? Two babies are exchanged and you have to establish their identity. What all you need first initially? Samples of both the parents, both babies. I am giving it to you. See, this is baby 1 and baby 2 and this is first parents father 1, mother 1, and father 2, mother 2. Now which baby you are giving to which parent? Now let me see. Which baby you are giving to? Baby 1 to? Sure. Sure. Huh? Yes. Baby 1 to? Father 2 and mother 2. Wonderful. I told you now. You all become experts now. You all become DNA experts. That is what exactly I wanted to make you as an expert coming here. Wonderful. Huh? 14, 16. 14, 16, and then you have to go with this. On the green ones, they are from baby 2 to this father 1 and mother. And this is a murder case wherein a dead body sample was there, and police went on searching the suspects, and one of the suspect's house, they could recover one shirt. Very, very small speck of blood on it, on the shirt. Very small. Now those two samples have come, and this is the DNA fingerprinting pattern. How does it look like? Exactly the same. What will be your conclusion? Same. Those samples belong to the deceased. Yeah, the sample which is found on the shirt. Now ABC are the suspects and F is the question sample, forensic. F is the forensic sample, and there are 3 suspects. Now tell me, who is the one who is involved?
B. D.
B. Sure. Why not A?
Last sample. 15 times 5.
Here it is missing. Here also there is no. See, in one go you are identifying the one who is involved, and at the same time the other 2 who is not. At one shot. That is another advantage. B, A and C have no role to play, but B is the one who is involved. Now this is semen sample which is recovered on the crime scene, and there are 5 suspects. Now tell me, who is the one? Suspect?
8, 11, 8, 10.
Suspect? 4. Here you are not comparing 50-50. Don't go with 50-50, doesn't work here. Because it is his own sample, direct match. Now this is the challenge what I am talking about. Just pay your attention for a minute. We are about to close. This is a real big challenge today. See here, DNA profiles are coming here, but there are no peaks in this area. Why? Because it is formalin preserved. Formalin preserved. If the very fetus is preserved in formalin, because you don't have any backup sample. If the blood sample is drawn, and at any point of time you can take the other blood sample. If you are going wrong also, you can take the other sample. But in this case, if the very fetus sample is preserved in formalin, it is very difficult and not possible even today. It's a big challenge to deal with. No equipment, no high-tech procedure which is not giving us the right DNA profile if the tissue is preserved in formalin. Because this is the only sample which is there, no backup sample. In this case, and if it is by wrong, if somebody is preserved in formalin, everything is gone. Now here see, there are three peaks here. Can you able to see here? three peaks. It's a mixture of handling the mixture. Mixed sample. It might be 2, 3 or whatever. And here is the mother. Because it's a murder case. It's a murder case, mother and son both have died. And one blood sample is giving this mixture. Mixture of these two. You have to establish, even if it is a mixture. See, you have to establish and see. This is a mixed one. A real big challenge actually. Mixed one. Mother and son both have died. And one blood sample is giving this. How will you interpret in that case? Go with this profile and match it with this. Go with this profile and match it with this. Everything is complete. Then you can say, yes, it is a mixture of these two. But it is not giving any, it cannot separate these two. If the two blood samples are mixed, we cannot be separated. You have to go with the mixture interpretation. That is another limitation. Blood sample may look like one, but when you do it, it is giving you this type of profile. Here, in this case, this person, there are two different individuals which are born to two different mothers with the same father. Somebody is having two wives and each has got a son. And nobody is living now. No father, no mother. Only these two people are there, which are born to two different mothers, but the same father. Is it possible to establish identity? Yes. Yes, we could able to. See, these two are entirely different profile, belonging to two different individuals. If the father is same, the Y chromosome, the Y is coming only from the father. Right? And if you do the Y chromosomal analysis, it is giving you identical. In the father lineage, paternal lineage, you can see the compare in all Y. The grandfather, the father, his son, same lineage. If you do the Y chromosome analysis, you can get the same numbers. Because in the property dispute cases, this used to come. In that case, you have to do it. And I told you the same thing, product of conception. If the product of conception is giving these numbers, and it is a mixture again, mixture of mother and the baby. Mixture of mother and the baby, and accused sample is also there. If it is a mixture, see, if it is not been properly collected, in our probability you get the mixture itself. It cannot be separated. And if it is a male baby, we can go with the Y and compare. But if it is a female, again a big challenge. But we could able to identify with the interpretation saying that, yes, here in this case it is containing both mother and baby, and then the accused. All the red ones are coming from the accused. So have you seen these pictures? What happened in this incident? You know? How many people died? 3,000. 3,000 people died. World Trade Center. And in that place there are 22,000 tissue pieces. How many? 22,000. What you need to do? You have to do the DNA profiling of all 22,000 tissue pieces. DNA fingerprinting of all 22,000, and then see how many are identical and belonging to the same individual. Then you have to match it with the parents. But they have the database. Some of the countries, they have the DNA database. That means their DNA profile in that database. Is it going to help us in any way? How does it going to help us? Yeah, you need not have to go with the suspect sample. Just check with the sample and match it with the database. It is giving you who is it. Right? And this is the accident case where the AC bogie caught fire and 28 people charged to death in Anantapur, Andhra Karnataka border. Last 10-12 years ago, AC bogie, 28 people charged to death, and we could able to identify all this. And to tell you about the first case in DNA, the very first case in international scenario, this is the very first case. Just to give you for your understanding, in 1983, a girl was raped, 15-year-old girl was raped and murdered. After 3 years, one more murder took place. One fellow came forward, Richard Buckland, and confessed, yes, I did both. DNA test showed that, yes, the same man killed both the girls, but it was not Buckland. Then what to do with that? In that village, 5,500 people were staying. Police asked to give the DNA sample for all 5,500. One fellow did not give. Colin Pitchford. It was matching with this fellow. That means one sample. If you find one sample, is it possible to establish identity? No. If you have the database, then yes. If it is a single sample, you cannot establish the identity. You may get the DNA profile, but there is no sample for comparison. In future, you may have this card as well, along with Aadhaar. You are having Aadhaar card, right? Now here is a DNA card for you. All your DNA number profiles will be here. No need to go for the suspect. Directly it can be identified. In future, you may get this. Very likely. This is the database I am talking about. The combined DNA index system, many of the developed countries, they have the database through which the dead bodies are being identified. What we call it as combined DNA index system. Now the final conclusion would be, the forensic investigation constitutes a heavy responsibility, as such that no person deter you from the truth, and your own personal commitment to see that justice is done not only for the deceased but for surviving family as well. Thank you.